Before I knew it, I was taking 65 extra red vodka.
Jeez.
I was crushing it. I was buying them illegally from Mexico.
Because of the heart issues you've been having.
From Kurt Angle's journey of surviving an addiction that once had him taking dozens of painkillers a day to achieving 14 years of sobriety, to The Undertaker's remarkable recovery from life-saving heart surgery, to the personal tragedies endured by Hulk Hogan, wrestling legends have lived lives just as powerful, inspiring, and sometimes heartbreaking as anything they did in the ring. And few examples are more striking than Stone Cold Steve Austin, who became arguably the biggest star in wrestling history, but at 60 years old has traded the chaos of sold-out arenas for the calm of ranch life in rural Texas, where he now lives primarily at Broken Skull Ranch near Tilden, a 40-acre property that reflects his tough, independent personality as he spends his days hunting, fishing, and maintaining the land with the same intensity he once showed in the ring. Sharing glimpses of this quiet life in May 2025 when he posted ranch photos with the simple caption "Life Knocker Ranch," while also owning Broken Skull Ranch 2.0 in Gardnerville, Nevada as a second retreat where he fuels his love for off-road racing and adventure, using Texas as his home base and Nevada as a change of pace, all while maintaining a positive social media presence where he often responds "hell yeah" to fans, staying true to the larger-than-life persona that made him famous. And married to his wife Kristen since 2009 with 3 children from previous relationships, Austin now prioritizes family after a complicated past that included 4 marriages and legal trouble such as a 2002 domestic incident that was ultimately resolved with probation. But Austin has not fully stepped away from wrestling or his entrepreneurial drive, as his Broken Skull beer line, partnered with El Segundo Brewing in 2014, has grown into a major post-retirement success. And in 2025, the brand marked its 10th anniversary with a limited edition IPA released on November 15th and promoted through social media, while its flagship IPA and American Lager are now sold in 39 states with more than 5,000 barrels produced each year, something Austin proudly markets as the best beer in America by tying it to his ranch lifestyle with posts like "Friday is beer night." And as a WWE ambassador, he still makes occasional appearances at major events such as WrestleMania 41 in April 2025, where he made a dramatic entrance and crashed an ATV, as well as Hall of Fame ceremonies. Though while he has hinted at being open to one more match, he clearly puts his health first, carefully managing long-term neck and knee issues at age 60 caused by decades of punishment, including the severe neck injury in 1997 that briefly left him paralyzed. And despite his beer-chugging image, he has publicly denied being an alcoholic and often stresses responsible drinking, meaning that while fans may still hope to see Stone Cold stun someone again, the answer remains never say never. But for now, the Texas Rattlesnake seems to have found something more valuable than titles and peace, family, and the freedom to live life his own way. While meanwhile, The Undertaker Mark Calloway faced a serious health scare of his own when he underwent emergency heart surgery in April 2025 for chronic atrial fibrillation, which had reduced his heart's ejection fraction to just 30% compared to a normal range of 50 to 70%. And in a June 2025 episode of his 6 Feet Under podcast, he credited his wife Michelle McCool with potentially saving his life.
Because of the heart issues you've been having weeks prior.
McCool noticed warning signs that Undertaker himself had missed and pushed him to get immediate medical help, with the surgery taking place shortly after WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, where he had appeared strong and healthy to millions of viewers, even though behind the scenes his body was showing serious distress that could have led to a catastrophic outcome if ignored. And the scare reinforced what Undertaker had said since his 2020 retirement after the cinematic match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36, that he would never wrestle again, choosing health and family over any comeback, a stance he reaffirmed firmly in August 2025 by saying a return was impossible due to his medical condition and his desire to retire the character properly. While beyond podcasting, his Undertaker One Dead Man Show tour continued through 2025, and his family life centered on his Texas home with Michelle McCool and their children, including daughter Kaya Faith, who has shown impressive athletic and aerial ability, adopted son Colt, and from previous marriages son Gunnar Vincent and daughters Chasey and Gracie, with McCool also strengthening his Christian faith, as he shared during his Hall of Fame speech when he said the greatest thing she did for him was restore his relationship with his Lord and Savior, later publicly affirming that journey with a baptism in 2024. And meanwhile, Shawn Michaels, known as the Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania, and the Showstopper, represents a career that reshaped professional wrestling. As born Michael Shawn Hickenbottom on July 22, 1965, he spent decades captivating audiences with elite in-ring skill and emotional storytelling, winning multiple world titles, co-founding D-Generation X, and delivering countless classic matches. And at 60 years old in 2025, Michaels has found deeper fulfillment than championships by dedicating himself to shaping and mentoring the next generation of WWE superstars as Senior Vice President of Talent Development. Creative, Michaels shifted into an executive role beginning in 2016 at the WWE Performance Center, where he first worked as a coach before being promoted in 2022. And today he oversees NXT storylines, talent scouting, and developmental programs, effectively acting as the creative backbone of WWE's developmental system, while regularly appearing on NXT television to announce matches or advance storylines. And in interviews, he often explains NXT's unique purpose by saying there is no other brand that works so hard to create stars only to lose them to Raw or SmackDown while still drawing money itself. A role that reflects a difficult personal transformation shaped by years of substance abuse in the 1980s and 1990s, a 1993 steroid suspension, a career-halting back injury in 1998 that forced a 4-year retirement, and a period where suicidal thoughts overwhelmed him until a defining moment with his son led to sobriety in 2002 and a born-again Christian faith influenced by his wife, Rebecca Kirschy, whom he married in 1999, a foundation that sustained his recovery despite ongoing health struggles including spinal fusion surgery, multiple concussions, and other injuries. And in late 2025 he underwent double knee replacement surgery following earlier procedures like shoulder replacement. Yet Michaels has remained optimistic, saying he would not change anything about his career, no longer misses performing, and finds deep fulfillment in shaping the future through NXT, while grounding his life in family and a quiet routine at his Bergheim, Texas ranch and a second renovated home together valued at around $1 million. Michaels lives a comfortable yet grounded life with his wife Rebecca and their children, son Cameron Cade, born in 2000, daughter Cheyenne, born in 2004, and for fans who remember the Heartbreak Kid's swagger and unforgettable matches. Seeing Shawn Michaels thrive as a mentor may be the greatest character evolution of all, as he has gone from breaking hearts to building futures, proving that the most meaningful chapters often come after the final curtain call, while meanwhile Triple H, Paul Levesque, born Paul Michael Levesque, has made one of the most successful transitions in wrestling history from dominant in-ring performer to powerful executive. As WWE's chief content officer and head of creative, the 56-year-old now shapes storytelling, talent relations, and innovation across the company, a role made even more meaningful by a life-threatening health crisis in September 2021 when a genetic heart condition combined with viral pneumonia caused fluid buildup around his heart and severe lung inflammation, leading to emergency surgery at Yale New Haven Hospital, where an implantable cardioverter defibrillator was placed in his chest, forcing his retirement from active wrestling in March 2022 during an ESPN First Take interview where he openly said he was in heart failure and would never wrestle again, with his final in-ring moment coming symbolically at WrestleMania 38 in April 2022 when he left his boots in the ring. And by 2025, Levesque has spoken about the scare as a gift that reset his priorities toward health, family, and being fully present in both life and his work.
It's the most important thing in the world to me. All this other stuff, it's wonderful.
Professionally, 2025 has been a landmark year for Triple H, as Paul Levesque was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025 as its first announced member on January 29th in a surprise presentation by Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, adding a solo honor to his 2019 induction with D-Generation X, while continuing his role as WWE's chief content officer since September 2022, where he oversees creative direction, talent development, and major business initiatives including high-profile streaming partnerships with platforms like Netflix and ESPN, and publicly he also appeared at the White House in July 2025 as vice chair of the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition, where he even performed his trademark water spit to promote youth fitness and achievement, while on a personal level his marriage to Stephanie McMahon since October 25, 2003 has firmly linked him to the McMahon legacy as they raised 3 children together in Connecticut, and through philanthropy he and Stephanie founded Connor's Cure in 2014, which has raised nearly $4.5 million for pediatric cancer support, showing that Triple H's influence now extends far beyond wrestling as his life story reflects resilience and reinvention after a near-fatal health crisis. While meanwhile Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, remains one of wrestling's most iconic figures with his flashy robes, bleach blonde hair, booming woo catchphrase, and 16 world championships. Yet at 76 years old in 2025, the man once defined by excess and celebration now faces a reality far removed from the champagne-fueled glory of his prime. In mid-2025, Flair revealed he had been diagnosed with melanoma, his second skin cancer diagnosis in 3 years, and after undergoing treatment he announced he was cancer-free in July. A scare that highlighted the physical toll of decades spent wrestling, partying, and living at full speed, especially after he also disclosed earlier in 2025 that he had unknowingly suffered a heart attack the year before, adding to a long medical history that includes a medically induced coma in 2017 from bowel issues, kidney failure, congestive heart failure, and surviving a 1975 plane crash that broke his back in 3 places yet still drove him to defy doctors and return to wrestling. Though ongoing health problems like alcoholic cardiomyopathy tied to past alcoholism have followed him, leading Flair to publicly vow sobriety again in July 2025, while despite everything he remains active as an entrepreneur through ventures like Woo Energy launched in 2023, a mushroom-based drink that became AEW's official energy drink before its deal ended in 2024 but continued promotions into 2025, alongside projects like his Ric Flair Drip cannabis line with Mike Tyson, Woo Wings virtual restaurants, merchandise through RicFlairShop.com, honoring legends such as Steve McMichael, announcing a November 12, 2025 Blood and Guts appearance with Ricky Steamboat, and navigating his personal life including his 2023 marriage to Sky Daily following prior long-term relationships and marriages. He had 4 children including WWE star Charlotte Flair and endured deep personal tragedy with the death of his son Reed from a drug overdose in 2013 and the suicide of his stepson Sebastian KD in October 2024. While meanwhile Hulk Hogan, born Terry Bollea, passed away on July 24, 2025 at the age of 71, marking the loss of one of wrestling's most iconic figures, with reports stating he died from a heart attack connected to atrial fibrillation, while also battling chronic lymphocytic leukemia at his home in Clearwater, Florida, where emergency crews responded, but he passed roughly an hour later, following months of serious health decline that included speech problems caused by tracheal damage and severe physical limitations after more than 20 surgeries on his back, hips, and knees from years in the ring. Yet even as his health failed, Hogan remained active in Florida-based businesses like Hogan's Hangout in Clearwater and Orlando, which drew fans and tourists and contributed to an estimated $25 million net worth along with WWE royalties and endorsements, while also launching projects such as the Real American Freestyle Wrestling League and maintaining a visible political profile by supporting Donald Trump and speaking at the 2024 Republican National Convention. And on a personal level, his life included marriage in 2023, 2 children Brooke and Nick, a public baptism in late 2024 that embraced Christianity and forgiveness, all unfolding during a turbulent period marked by family loss and controversy that continued to shape the complicated legacy he left behind. 2015 audio leak exposed racist remarks made by Hulk Hogan, which led WWE to cut ties and remove him from the Hall of Fame before he later apologized, citing personal stress, and was reinstated in 2018 after completing community service and diversity-related efforts, while a separate leaked sex tape in 2012 resulted in a landmark lawsuit against Gawker Media that Hogan won, initially awarded $140 million before settling for $31 million, a case that ultimately bankrupted the outlet, and following his death on July 24, 2025 tributes poured in from fans and celebrities with funeral services held on August 5 and his estate estimated at $25 million, while meanwhile Bret, the Hitman Hart, widely regarded as one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time, has spent his retirement navigating health struggles, family commitment, and a complicated bond with wrestling. And at 68 years old in 2025, the 5-time WWE champion and Hart family icon continues to make limited public appearances while focusing on preserving his legacy, having endured a major health journey that included a June 2002 bicycle accident in Calgary that caused a stroke and temporary paralysis on his left side, requiring months of rehabilitation before regaining mobility, though emotional effects remained, leading him to become a spokesperson for stroke recovery with March of Dimes Canada, followed by a prostate cancer diagnosis in February 2016 that was successfully treated with surgery by March, inspiring charitable donations including over $16,000 to the Calgary Prostate Cancer Center in 2019, and as of 2025 Hart's condition is reported as stable with no major setbacks. However, Hart shared an emotional Instagram post in October 2025 celebrating his daughter Jade's successful fight against breast cancer, encouraging early detection and praising her strength, a message that reflected how his focus has shifted from in-ring intensity to family and broader impact. as family remains the center of his life while living in Calgary, Alberta, and being married to his third wife Stephanie Washington since 2010, with his children from his first marriage to Julie Smadu remaining deeply important to him, including Jade, who keeps a private life with her husband Steve and their children, while often attending WWE events to support her cousin Natalia Alexandra, who has faced business challenges with her Heart Healthy restaurant, and sons Dallas and Blade, who continue the Hart legacy through Dungeon Wrestling, launched in Calgary in 2022 and featuring championships like the Stu Hart Heritage title. While Hart also owns the Calgary Hitmen hockey team, and Hitman's Bar opened in 2023 as a memorabilia-filled lounge, supporting a comfortable but low-key lifestyle with an estimated net worth of $6 million. And in 2025, Hart became more selective with appearances by canceling November bookings in Pennsylvania, New York, and Connecticut due to unavoidable family matters, while promising to reschedule in the spring, planning his final appearance of the year in Montreal on November 9th to mark the Screwjob anniversary. And although he attended SummerSlam 2025 after being invited, he felt slighted when no crowd seat was provided, which added to his belief that WWE does not fully value his legacy, reinforcing his long-held view that modern wrestling lacks the realism and storytelling of his era, and that few today match what he once brought to the ring. This measured stance reflects wrestling's evolution while highlighting Bret Hart's enduring pride, as social media often shows him as a content family man balancing reflection on a transformative career with family life, selective public appearances, and quiet advocacy. While meanwhile Mick Foley, famous for his personas Mankind, Cactus Jack, and Dude Love, remains one of wrestling's most beloved and resilient figures, and at 60 years old in 2025 has shifted from the hardcore legend who endured extreme punishment in the ring to a health-minded advocate, storyteller, and philanthropist whose post-retirement life demonstrates reinvention and compassion, having built a career from 1985 to 2012 that left him with chronic injuries including concussions, joint damage, and limited mobility due to unprotected chair shots, high falls, and brutal matches, compounded by weight gain that peaked at 372 pounds in the mid-2010s, worsening sleep apnea and joint pain. Yet in recent years Foley has made remarkable progress, revealing in November 2025 interviews that he lost nearly 90 pounds, dropping to 273 at one point before stabilizing around 280. With this weight loss, along with hip replacement surgery in 2017 and a later knee replacement, greatly improving his mobility, giving him what he describes as a new lease on life, able to walk without constant pain, and after initially pushing too hard on dieting, he has now embraced a more balanced approach, while creatively he continues to channel his eccentric wrestling persona into diverse pursuits. His writing career began in 1999 with Have a Nice Day, a deeply personal story of blood and sweat socks entirely handwritten without a ghostwriter, which topped the New York Times bestseller list and led to memoirs, fiction like Tales from Brown in 2004, and children's books, though no new titles have appeared since. Saint Mick in 2017, chronicling his Santa Claus volunteering, yet his words continue to inform his spoken word performances, while advocacy forms the core of Foley's post-wrestling identity, including work with Rain starting in 2008 inspired by musician Tori Amos, logging over 550 hotline hours in 15 months and serving on their National Leadership Council, alongside fundraising campaigns like NAFTA 10 for Rain, raising thousands through Child Fund since 1992, sponsoring 7 children, funding schools in the Philippines, Mexico, and Sierra Leone, and most recently hosting an August 2025 auction for a tie-dye guitar to help wrestlers' families while continuing annual Santa volunteering. While personally Foley lives in New York with his wife Colette and 4 children, including son Dway, who works for WWE, celebrating his 60th birthday in June 2025 with merchandise honoring 40 years in wrestling. And socially he has stepped back from X since 2022 over misinformation concerns, but remains active on Instagram and Facebook, sharing updates on tours, health, and holidays, with acting credits spanning indie films like The Peanut Butter Falcon in 2019, TV appearances on 30 Rock and Heels in 2021, and voice work such as The Boulder in Avatar, The Last Airbender, all reflecting a persona that blends intensity and humor. And today Foley's life demonstrates a balanced embrace of his eccentric past, channeling it to advocate, entertain, inspire, and prioritize well-being and community, while meanwhile Kurt Angle's journey from Olympic gold medalist to WWE Hall of Famer to post-retirement entrepreneur is a story defined by extraordinary toughness, struggles with addiction, and eventual redemption. And at 56 years old in 2025, he has successfully transitioned from the ring to a life centered on nutrition, business ventures, media projects, and family, all while managing the long-term effects of a career that pushed his body to the limit, with his defining trait of resilience first showcased by winning the 1996 Olympic gold medal in freestyle wrestling, an achievement that laid the foundation for his legendary professional wrestling career.
4 broken vertebrae in my neck. I had 2 discs sticking directly in my spinal cord.
To compete, Angle's doctor administered 12 Novocaine injections just 5 minutes before each match, enabling him to perform without feeling pain, though an hour afterward he would experience excruciating agony, and this cycle of pushing through intense pain with medical intervention continued to define and haunt his professional wrestling career.
When I broke my neck in WWE, that was the second time I broke it. First time was before the Olympics. Second was my second year in WWE. Actually, no, third year. It was Brock Lesnar actually broke it. He hit me over the head with a chair and 3 vertebrae cracked, and I had 2 more discs sticking in my spinal cord. It was really bad. The doctor introduced me to painkillers. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
What began as legitimate pain management gradually escalated into a severe addiction, as Angle's body developed a tolerance that demanded increasingly higher doses, eventually reaching an alarming 65 Vicodin pills per day.
Dude, I was taking 65 extra strength Vicodin a day. I was crushing it. I was buying them illegally from Mexico.
He also obtained 12 prescriptions from 12 different pharmacies, meticulously tracking them in a book, totaling around 2,300 pills per month, and the addiction nearly killed him, as Angle would frequently pass out and realize that staying in WWE would likely lead to an overdose, with the breaking point arriving during a meeting with Vince and Shane McMahon when Vince showed him 5 pages of threatening texts and voicemails Angle had sent while high messages he didn't even remember sending. He left WWE in 2006 and joined TNA, initially substituting painkillers with alcohol by drinking a 12-pack of beer each night after shows, which led to 4 DUIs in 5 years and the lowest point of his life, until his wife's ultimatum after the 4th DUI finally convinced him to seek help, and as of 2025 he has been clean and sober for 14 years, channeling his Olympic discipline into building a nutrition and supplements empire with his Kurt Angle brand offering products like whey protein shakes in flavors such as cookies and cream designed for muscle growth and recovery, partnering in 2023 with Project 111 Nutrition as their first major athlete endorser and bringing his 1.6 million Instagram followers into the fold, while products like the American Dream Championship Protein are sold online and promoted at in-person events, including a signing at Sam's Club in Robinson, Pennsylvania, on October 18, 2025, making Angle's story one of remarkable resilience, from Olympic glory with a broken neck to devastating addiction, to 14 years of sobriety and a thriving business, with his openness about struggles providing hope for others facing similar challenges. Amy Dumas, better known as Lita, transformed women's wrestling with her high-flying, risk-taking style, proving female wrestlers could be as thrilling and athletic as their male counterparts. And at 50 years old in 2025, the WWE Hall of Famer has shifted from death-defying moonsaults to a multifaceted life focused on animal advocacy, media projects, and occasional wrestling appearances that remind fans why she is regarded as one of the all-time greats, with a career spanning 1999 to her initial retirement in 2006 marked by groundbreaking moments such as being part of Team Extreme with the Hardy Boys, becoming the first woman actively involved in tables, ladders, and chairs matches, and elevating women's wrestling through feuds with Trish Stratus while capturing 4 WWE Women's Championships, though a severe neck injury on April 6, 2002 during a Dark Angel stunt required surgery and sidelined her for a year, and her 2006 retirement followed personal controversy from an affair with Edge while dating Matt Hardy, sparking intense fan backlash, yet Lita has returned sporadically, making history in 2023 by winning the Women's Tag Team Championship with Becky Lynch as the first Hall of Famer to capture a title post-induction, and as of November 2025 she thrives as a WWE ambassador with occasional backstage roles including producing and mentoring. She has highlighted the evolution of women's wrestling in interviews, such as an April 2025 discussion with Trish Stratus at Queen of the Ring, and her 2025 schedule includes fan conventions worldwide like Mimoverse x Wrestleverse in December, along with autograph sessions, while Instagram posts document appearances at WrestleMania weekend in April and other events, with her media work including co-hosting A&E's WWE's Most Wanted Treasures in 2023, hosting the UFO show on ASY TV in 2018, and running her podcast Amy's Discordia since 2013, while her music career features forming the Lookagers in 2006 with a debut album in 2007, and she authored the 2003 bestseller Lita, a less traveled road, and appeared in films and TV, all while maintaining philanthropic efforts as a dedicated vegan and animal advocate through her organization Amy Dumas's Operation Rescue and Education, focusing on rescuing, rehabilitating, and rehoming animals, volunteering at shelters, and promoting adoptions, alongside supporting women's empowerment in sports, personally splitting her time between a luxurious Atlanta estate and a Nicaraguan coastal home for surfing and relaxation, with an estimated net worth around $6 million from WWE, media, and music, and known for tattoos including a three-eyed gargoyle and Mexican skulls, with past relationships including Matt Hardy, Edge, Shane Morton, and CM Punk, making her post-wrestling life a perfect evolution for fans who remember her fearless dives and groundbreaking matches, showing that female wrestlers can be every bit as thrilling as men while proving life after wrestling can be equally impactful.